Hey guys, in this video we're going to be checking out another 5-inch drone here. This is from Arris Hobby and it's called the X210S. Kind of a generic name. Obviously you can see here it's kind of a stretch X frame. I believe it's going to be 210 millimeters mirror to mirror. We'll measure all that here in a second. Now, if you go to the link and check out the specs for this product on their website, I think they're going to be updating this because this model here is different from the one that's on their website, and I believe that they've changed the motors and the camera and this antenna here. So I would say go with what's in this video, because I think these are the actual parts that they're going to be shipping. I think the product page has some older specs, but I'm just going to go over what's on this model here because that's pretty much all I can do. They've told me that they're going to be updating the product page to match this model that you're going to see in this video. Anyway, so we'll start off with the motors. These are kind of like unbranded. They're branded Arris Hobby here. 2206 2450 kV. And I think the ones on the website were 2205 2300 kV. So this is definitely a better motor at the open bottom design. I don't know who makes this motor. I think that they're OEMing this from somebody. The camera that they're using is the Runcam Swift 2. You can see it's a full-size camera. And I believe the one on the product page is the Foxier Aero. This is actually a pretty good camera. They're both pretty similar, so not a whole lot of difference there in terms of that compared to the motors. I think the ESCs are going to be the same. These are 30 amp 4-in-1 ESCs that are running BLE-S, not BLE-32, so it's going to be up to D-Shot 600. And then you have an F4 flight controller with a Maiden Flight OSD. I don't know the exact manufacturer of this one, that one. There were no markings on that one, so I'm not sure who makes it, but looks like a pretty generic F4 flight controller, and it has an MPU 6000. So it's got the 8K gyro instead of the 32K gyro, so that's something that you might want to keep in mind. If you want the 32K gyro, then this one doesn't have that. The video transmitter is power switchable, has PID mode, goes from 0 to 600 milliwatts, and uses the IRC tramp protocol to do your changing your channels and bands. So that's a pretty, pretty good video transmitter. Now it does use an MMCX connector here, and then they're using this Foxier lollipop antenna here. Before, I think in the product page it was a Foxier Pagoda antenna with a MMCX to SMA adapter. This one just connects directly to the video transmitter. I thought the video signal on this was pretty good. You'll see that in the flight demo. Now this particular model came with an XM Plus receiver. You can see there's just foam tape to the top of the video transmitter, and you have the antennas just zip tied here to the top. I believe this option for the XM Plus is $25 more, so it's quite a bit more than what an XM Plus receiver would cost you. I think you can pick one up for about half that price, like $12, $13. And this model itself is actually pretty reasonably priced, $180 without the receiver. So I would recommend getting the one without the receiver and then adding your own receiver if you already know how to do something like that. If you don't know how to add a receiver, obviously you probably want to spend the extra $10, $12 and get the one with the receiver already built in, and the bind button is accessible right there. So it was pretty easy to bind. No complaints there. Now the frame itself is pretty nice. You can see here we got a 3-board stack here, fits nicely in here. No issues in terms of space. It's not that cramped. And you got these 2 aluminum side plates here with the camera a little bit elevated, and then you have these 2 carbon side plates as well. The camera is, you can see, very well protected. No complaints about camera protection, and it's a little bit raised up due to the design of the aluminum side plates. So the props are going to be on the bottom side of the field of view. They don't really get in the way, and it's not that distracting, so I do like that part of the design. Overall, the frame itself is pretty nice. You got these 5mm arms here, and they are chamfered, and the carbon seems to be pretty nice. Now I can't really see the cut of the carbon because it is covered by the heat shrink here, but yeah, it didn't seem like it would affected the flight characteristics at all. And it does seem like the arms are fairly stiff at this 5mm. Okay, so just getting some measurements of the frame. Comes in at 210mm, just as advertised. The side-to-side distance is about 135mm. And the front to back comes in about 162mm, so definitely a stretch X frame. And the weight of the frame, with everything on there with no battery, it comes in at about 310 grams. Okay, so to talk a little about the flight characteristics. I did try and fly it out of the box with the tune that it came with. It came with kind of a strange tune. Numbers were higher than defaults, and I was a little bit concerned about that because I had a feeling that we were going to get some vibrations and oscillations right away. And as I expected, as soon as I took off, and as you see in the flight demo, the oscillations came out right away, and I had to land pretty much immediately because if I had flown it in that condition, I would have probably burned out a motor. So if you happen to get this model, I would check the tune. I'm not sure if they're going to change it or not, but you'll see the numbers that I changed it to. I lowered the values quite a bit, and you'll see that in the flight demo. I changed it in the OSD, and the lowered numbers that I used seem to work pretty good. So you're more than welcome to use those. Obviously, I didn't really spend that much time tuning it. I just kind of like guessed as to what I thought would be good numbers, and they seemed to work pretty good. Didn't have a whole lot of prop wash, pretty good power, no vibrations, no oscillations. I thought it flew pretty good on the numbers that I use. So if you want to use that as a starting point, feel free to do so. Okay, so this is going to be the Maiden Flight. I haven't done any tuning, just going to fly with the stock tune. And we can hear some oscillations already. I'm going to have to land it and change the PIDs. Oh, it's pretty bad actually. A lot of vibrations. Okay, so the default PIDs were pretty high, so I'm going to lower them quite a bit here. And we'll see how these do. Okay, that sounds a lot better. Okay, so it looks like the tune that they put on here was just not right. Alright, this feels a lot better. It sounds a lot better as well. Also, when the other tune was on there, the original tune, with all the vibrations, the motors were very hot. So this was too much D gain, too much P gain. Yeah. Probably has something to do with these motors. I don't know where these motors came from. If they're a clone of something or some sort of, it's not off-brand. It's not branded at all. It just looks like the PIDs were just off. I think the ones I put in here kind of these are just from a first attempt, so I just kind of guessed. It's not a perfect tune, but seems to be good enough. Doesn't seem to be having any vibration issues. And I think this is a 2306 motor with a dial, I think it's a 5045 prop Cyclone. Pretty decent power. Feel like I have pretty good control. Trying to get some prop wash to come out. I got a little bit there, that hard turn. You kind of do that when you yaw quick. Not bad. Overall, I think this tune's not too bad. I kind of like it. So we're at 3 minutes 30 seconds. Flight time at 14.6 volts. Let's see what a full throttle pass is like here at the end of the battery. not bad. And the battery didn't get drained too quick there. Let's try one last one and then we'll end that demo. You get the battery to sag at about 13.5 volts, so not too bad. And recovering back to about 14.4. Yeah, so if you guys want to use those PIDs, I think that'll probably work. The ones that came stock are no good, so I would recommend not using those.